Are you completely ignoring the key to your creative future? Because I did for a long time, and I don't want you to make the same mistake. Hey creators, Aimon here, and this is where I help you unlock your dream creative life. Out here in a different setting again today. So what is the key to your creative future? Well, I'm going to get straight into it, unlike all those other YouTubers, and I'm going to tell you it's you. But hold on, don't leave yet, because there's more value to come. You understand? What a lot of people do as creatives, it's a hard topic to dive fully into because there's so much underneath it. It's like, why are you a creative? Is there trauma or unhealed wounds from your childhood that make you who you are today, which drives a lot of your creative energy, right? So there's these kinds of things that are happening underneath the surface. And the reason I'm getting into this before I get into the main point is because these are the things that actually motivate you, motivate what you actually want. It's like whether you want validation from your creativity, which is a big one, right? Whether or not you want money or fame, which again kind of falls under the validation thing, kind of falls under you needing something external to yourself as the reason that you are creating, right? And doing this whole deep work, understanding yourself, that's your job, and that's kind of for another video. But when I'm saying you are the key to your creative future, what I'm saying is that you are the point of difference. You are the niche. You know, I'm a music producer, I'm a YouTuber, I run a creative business, right? And for example, let's take the business thing. I run a real estate media business. And there is hundreds of other people trying to run real estate media businesses in my city, okay? Hundreds, right? So many of them. And my point of difference, the reason my customers choose to work with me, and even if I was in any other creative situation, my customers would still say, why can't I work with Aimon? Why can't I work with Aimon? Is because I am the point of difference. There's a lot of other people that could probably make the same product as me. I mean, like, I don't like to think so because of my creative little ego, right? I do think I have a higher quality product than a lot of other people in my area. But in terms of my customers, do they really know the difference between all the little nuances that I go to that my competition doesn't? I don't think so, okay? Maybe. I'd like to think so, but I really don't think so. And so what I'm saying is the reason they choose me is because I've built a relationship with them and they want to work with me in particular because of how I make them feel. Because I am like the type of person that they want to work with. I am all of the things that they have identified as the type of person they want to do business with in this creative endeavor with their particular real estate videos. Because they could, again, choose all these other people. But I put out content on Instagram providing value to them. Like, I do all these sorts of things that a lot of other creative business owners in my area don't do. And these are the little things that make up me, make up who I am. And that's why my customers choose me, right? So this is what I'm saying to you is that you are the niche. And there's a big part of where you're going wrong here, because you've probably heard this kind of theory before, is that you need to lean into who you actually are. And again, this is tough because of all of the things I mentioned at the start there. If you haven't uncovered all of who you are, why you do what you do, all of your actual motivations, whether they're intrinsic or extrinsic, like whether you actually want to do this for you, all of your motivators and all this kind of stuff. Like if you haven't uncovered that, this is going to be hard to lean into you because you might not have the confidence to fully be you. You might not be grounded in your values, right? And that's, again, a lot of deep work that you're going to have to do on yourself, asking yourself these questions, sitting and meditating and really thinking, what are my values? What is it that grounds me in my values? What is it that makes me who I am? Because once you fully understand that, doing some of these activities, and you don't have to go looking for what activities these are, like just write yourself a list of 50 questions or something, asking yourself questions that you think are going to be advantageous to uncover who you are, right? And when you know these things, that's when you can really lean into these things. And it might not seem for a long time that people want that. But if you just keep your head down, keep leaning into what it is that makes you unique, all the different things that I mentioned about myself in terms of my creative business, right? They're the things that make me unique. They're the things that make other people want to do business with me. And then it might take them a while for new customers, for example, to realize that they want to do business with you because of you. Because there's a lot of factors that go into it. Your quality of work, if we're taking the creative business example, how you show up professionally. You could show up with a mullet and wearing a tradie uniform, smoking a durry, and you'll find your exact customer who wants to work with you, right? They might love that type of person. They might be attracted to that type of person. But if you're going out there trying to be something that you're not only are people going to smell the inauthenticity, this person is not who they say they are, who they are trying to actually be. But then you're also not authentically attracting the right customers that you really want to work with, because you're going to have a really good time working with the type of customers that you actually want to work with, right? But if you're showing a part of yourself that you're showing a mask that isn't actually who you are, then you're not going to attract that particular person. And trust me, when you're working with that person, you actually enjoy your life so much more, especially if you're a creative person, like running a creative business. Working with customers who aren't like you, it sucks, like a lot. So when you're working with people that are like you and they are your dream customers and you've attracted to them to you because you have leaned into what makes you unique, and the more of that you do, like, the more you can lead by example as well. Then you're going to have a way better time because you're working with people that you actually want to work with. And if we zoom out a little bit, what's the point of all this living and all this stuff? Like if you're not being your authentic self, if you're not trying to work with people that you want to work with, if you're not actually enjoying your moment-to-moment, day-to-day experience. And this is what I'm saying is if you're ignoring this fact because, your ego wants to keep you safe or doesn't want to be shown as and actually seen as who you actually are or whatever it is. Again, you've got to do the deep work necessary to understand yourself. You're going to have a bad time. It's just that simple, right? You know how I know? Because I've gone through it. I've worn all the masks. I've tried all the different things over and over. I've been in business for 10, 15 years, right? I've tried all the different things. And trust me when I say it's not sustainable to not be yourself, to not actually show up as who you are. And it sucks and it grinds away at you. And then you don't work with the people you actually want to work with. So I really encourage you to stop ignoring the key to your creative future, which is yourself. You just have to lean into it hard. Ask yourself, what does that look like? Because, and then you block out everything that isn't that. That's also the hard part about being a creative person, because you want to do everything. I know you do, because I also want to do everything. But having these creative limitations, saying, no, this is who I am, and I'm not going to do anything outside of that because it doesn't serve who I am. It doesn't serve leaning into how I want to show up in the marketplace. Whether you're a music producer, painter, any kind of artist, running a business, any of this, right? And then the next step to that is just experiment with these things and what you like to do and what you like to create. Because if you have an idea of who you are and then you have an idea of what you want to create, that's when you can really lean into these things. But then, to have these creative limitations is fantastic, but then you don't necessarily have to box yourself in forever, right? There's always room to experiment and be like, cool, what other kind of content works for me? Because content does get stale after a while. Your kind of art does get stale after a while in terms of it can stop being effective. So if you're always experimenting with because then you'll find something new, right? You'll find another type of content. Like this type of content is perfect for me. I'm authentically being myself. I can, express an idea, a video essay as such in one take, right? I don't have to fluff around making crazy 4-hour long productions and filming myself brushing my teeth and all these other YouTubers, and because I've tried all that and that's not me, right? And I'm very creative in terms of video and I can do all these sorts of things, but this is how I like to present, because I'm always trying to provide value to myself 3 to 5 years ago. And that's what I've found is the most effective for my unique voice, right? As a creator. So again, I implore you, stop ignoring yourself, because you are the niche. And the more you understand yourself, the more you can lean into who you are. the more value you can provide to other people, and therefore the more value that will be returned to you. And the more you'll just enjoy your life, fam. So hopefully you've gotten some value out of this. Let me know your thoughts on this topic below, and if I've missed anything, or if you have any other nuanced comments about this issue. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video.